More and more men, especially Black American men, are grabbing their passports and leaving the United States, not just for vacation, but for love, marriage, and maybe even peace of mind. They're calling themselves passport brothers. But the internet is divided. Are these men reclaiming their freedom or running from accountability? Passport brothers are Western men, often digital nomads, who travel to countries like Colombia, Thailand, the Philippines, or Brazil, seeking partners they perceive as more traditional than Western women. Western men who travel abroad for the purpose of dating or marrying women from there. The term became popularized through TikTok, where passport bros create content depicting their lifestyles. Men deemed passport bros may describe themselves as digital nomads that travel to other countries to enjoy increased purchasing power and have reduced living expenses that make it more affordable to raise a family on a single income. These men may believe that foreign women are more likely to have traditional values and enjoy showing them their local city. But critics, especially some modern Western women, say this is nothing more than escapism. They accuse passport brothers of exploiting women in poorer countries, claiming they can only find love where women are desperate. Others say it's an insult to their own communities.
If you're dealing with a man who be going to Colombia, DR, on these little boy trips, Brazil, Thailand, you better not touch that thing until he go to the doctor. I'm telling you.
So it's really weird to me when they're like, they don't want to deal with American women, because plenty of men abroad definitely have no problem with American women. I'm an American woman and they spoiled me, dinners, jewelry, gifts. I could go on. I really don't want to, but yes, I'm very confused. It doesn't seem like it's American women that's your issue.
That all passport bros are just predators.
You said they was more compliant. You said it was so many more of them to choose from than over here in the United States. So why is it taking so long for y'all to find one? I'm just confused.
If you can't handle strong women here, you're weak.
Nah, we just choose peace over war. Side A. Some women abroad say they're not being exploited. They're respected, loved, and provided for in ways local men often don't.
Passport bros are being called every name in the book. But have you asked why they exist? Because most foreign women are still very traditional, and they look at marriage as a partnership, not a competition. They cook without calling it slavery, they respect their man without calling it oppression, and they appreciate their man without calling it weakness. Meanwhile, on this side of the world, most women think that basic kindness is somehow beneath them. Can you blame men for choosing peace over problems?
However, it is not our fault if your man came across to Asian countries to find women and wife them up. Filipinas don't marry for a green card, but your men taking them to their countries. It's normal to get them a green card. What do you expect? Not all American men are rich. That is one of the reasons why you don't want them. So what are you talking about marrying for a better life? Asian women, we just wanted to be valued, cared for, respected, and loved. So, regardless of the nationalities, we are treating our husbands or partners the same way because we definitely know how it feels to be treated like a queen. So why not treat them like a king? These are just simple core values. If you don't have them, why argue?
I also want to talk about why this mindset that so many Western women have is actually extremely problematic. Because not only are you putting down the men who are going overseas with pure intentions, you're also putting down the women from these other countries solely off of the fact that they were not brought up in a Western culture. Because you're calling them uneducated, You're calling them poor. You're calling them weak. You're calling them vulnerable. You're creating a superiority complex where you are at the top and women from all these other countries are at the bottom. Now let me tell you something. If you were really superior, the men would not be leaving, and you would not be single.
Side B. But others warn that cultural differences, power imbalances, and unrealistic expectations can still lead to heartbreak or abuse. Love is love until reality hits.
Economic control over more vulnerable populations of women. They are easiest to control, so therefore it is easier for me to get a girlfriend who does everything I want in these countries. What these passport bros don't realise is that they're setting themselves up for pure failure whilst trying to finesse a group of women that they originally perceived as less intelligent, less clued on and less progressive, whilst dragging a lot of other men along with them in their endeavours to encourage this new trend. Now, I'm not saying that love beyond borders doesn't exist. Go wherever you want, travel, live your best life, meet whoever you want to meet, and love whoever you want to love, regardless of what country they're in. But make sure you're doing it for the right intentions. What I found is that men who normally go across the borders to meet women for the wrong intentions are the ones that wind themselves up in a lot of trouble. Which is why I have no sympathy at all for content creators like this.
I'm 36 years old and the girl in this video is 19, and the reason why I like younger women is because they're a lot more impressionable and malleable than older women. For example, you can see this girl has a nose ring. Well, she had a nose ring. That's right. By the third day, I was already able to convince her that piercings are dumb, and she got rid of it. She also had some tattoos on her lower back, which are scheduled for removal as well.
At this point, this man is not looking for love. He's looking for someone to control, and he's doing this for the wrong reasons. He's doing all this whilst deluding himself into believing that this beautiful 19-year-old Brazilian girl actually loves him for who he is and not for what he has. A lot of these passport bros spout the rhetoric that Western women are too demanding, they're too financially driven, they're difficult to please, they're gold diggers. But in this case, what are you doing here? You're literally leading with your passport and your socioeconomic status. Basically leading with your money. And nobody, regardless of what country, ethnic origin or upbringing they're from, wants to feel like they're being bought. So a lot of these women are actually turning their game head on and finessing these men. A few years ago, a number of American passport bros were actually going missing in Colombia because rings of gangs were using women to lure these passport bros in through dating websites. They would drug these men and steal from them, and a lot of these men died in the drugging process. And that is literally the worst case scenario. Best case scenario is you marry her, you take her back to the US or UK or wherever you're from, and she divorces you within a set amount of time, gets her passport and leaves for someone who's in her age range, someone that she's really attracted to. And just to be 100% clear, I do not have a problem with men, women, whoever, dating or marrying outside their borders. That is not a problem. But I have a problem with people who do it for the wrong reasons to exploit vulnerable groups of people. And then have the audacity to encourage others to do the same.
This is bigger than travel. It's about men redefining masculinity, family, and happiness. Should they be judged for seeking love on their own terms? Or should they be held accountable for reinforcing outdated gender roles?
I keep seeing these videos on the topic of passport bras, and my question to all the women that are complaining about these guys going abroad to get women is this: if you say that these men are weak and they are undesirable, why do you even care if these men go to another country? Aren't the people in those countries doing you a favor?
That's because in this day and age, people want to find something to hate on, so they find the dumbest thing to hate on. They're literally hating on people who want to explore and go out and get things done. There is nothing wrong with getting your passport and going to explore different parts in the world. This is a message to anyone who hasn't been out of the country yet. I mean, unless you're like someone in school. If you're in school, I perfectly understand. But if you're not in school and you haven't got out of the country, trust me, go out of the country and just explore, get some good sightings, eat some good food, meet some nice people. Trust me, you want to see what the world has to offer for you. And don't let a bunch of people tell you, oh, you're going to be a passport bro? That's so toxic. People have been migrating from place to place since the dawn of time. This is not something that's toxic. This is something that is a regular type of thing that people should want to do, is go and visit other places, be somewhere else, get a new experience, understand other cultures. Like, I don't see what's wrong with any of it. Watch someone twist it and contort it into something else. They're gonna be like, well, actually, no, a passport bro is this, blah, 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 blah. Like, come on, bro. Don't twist the definition. Don't twist the meaning. I don't really care about anything else besides the fact that it's just people migrating from place to place, trying to just explore and get something new and leave what they feel like is a toxic situation. And you can't tell somebody what isn't toxic to them. Because if they feel like they're in a bad place, let them grow and let them be better. You don't have any power over them to tell them that they cannot be better.
Women that react really negatively towards passport bros, they probably kind of feel rejected, and like their pool of men is getting smaller. And they're like, oh, why are you going overseas? Just always this shaming men for their preferences, for what they do, for what they don't want to do. Like, there's so much of that going on.
What's your advice for passport bros?
My advice would be to just do what you want to do, live your life. Don't listen to people who judge you or shame you. It's your life, you only live once. The only thing I would say is, before you make an important decision, obviously be careful, do your research, plan things out. If you meet someone, take your time, go on vacation a few times first before you actually move. But basically, what you want to do is what you can do. So just go for it. That's what I would say.
Passport brothers, freedom fighters, or fleeing accountability? Let us know what you think in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe for more unfiltered conversations.